Now on Morning in America, former State Department official and international lawyer David Tafuri. David, thank you very much for joining me today, sir.
Thanks for having me, Alex.
All right, so Libby just laid it out. House lawmakers, they are set to get that classified briefing today as the debate rages over whether or not these Iran strikes truly obliterated their nuclear program. Is this just a matter of semantics to you, people trying to define the word obliterated or not, or is there really a lack of clear understanding about the length that these airstrikes went to?
Well, it's unfortunate that this has become a debate. I wish Republicans and Democrats could find common ground here. I think we can all agree that the strikes were successful in that they hit their target, in that Iran did not hit any of the aircraft that were involved. Our airmen, who were very courageous to do these strikes, did them very effectively. But both sides should also recognize that we cannot possibly know the full impact right now. We need to collect intelligence about what happened. We need to look at satellite imagery of the 3 sites that were hit. We also need to look at signals intelligence and see what the Iranians are saying about the sites. And so we should be very careful not to oversell the impact, because we don't want there to be some continuing capacity of Iran to make nuclear weapons. And here we are saying, hey, we destroyed their capability, and then they are secretly moving forward with their nuclear ambitions. And you have to think that if they do have the capacity to move forward, that they will do so now in an even more expedient manner. And so one of the important questions is whether the 900 pounds of enriched uranium that was at the Isfahan site that was bombed in the U.S. airstrikes was moved before then or not. And again, we don't know that yet, and some of the intelligence suggests it's not clear. And so it would be wise for both sides to say this was a good, this was a successful attack, but let's see whether what else is necessary to ensure Iran never has a nuclear weapon.
Right. There's 2 simultaneous conversations going on, the effectiveness of the strikes and also where is that enriched uranium. Both the White House and the Pentagon saying there's no evidence that Iran was able to move it. Take a listen to this.
I'm not aware of any intelligence that I've reviewed that says things were not where they were supposed to be, moved or otherwise.
We were watching closely, and there was no indication to the United States that any of that enriched uranium was moved prior to the strike.
All right, so that contradicts preliminary European intelligence, which reportedly indicates uranium was sent to other locations. So if that did happen, what would be the next steps for the United States and its allies to take, or what perhaps is Iran doing at this moment?
Right. At one of the sites, there were trucks that showed up before the bombing, and 15 or 16 different trucks. And so perhaps something was unloaded from the site and into the trucks, or perhaps the trucks were delivering something. We don't know. So the most important thing is that we have to have very active intelligence and intelligence gathering to learn as much as we can about these sites. We need to watch the Iranians very carefully. If the Iranians are willing to talk about having a nuclear agreement, we should insist upon robust inspections. And so the IAEA should be allowed to go back in with their inspectors, and they're the experts, and they probably have the best chance of giving us an accurate picture of what is left of Iran's nuclear capabilities and whether they have the ability to move forward with a nuclear weapon, and what would the timeline be if they tried to do that.
Really quickly here, David, the White House now is limiting the sharing of classified information as the FBI probe continues into who possibly leaked some of that information. We just got reporting from insiders at the White House that says it did not come from the president's inner circle, most likely leaked from Capitol Hill. Your thoughts on the way that this leak happened and how damaging it could be for the actual truth to come out about the effectiveness of the strikes in the future?
It's always unfortunate when information that is classified, meaning legally there is an obligation to protect it and to not share it, gets leaked. And so it's appropriate for the administration to look into how it was leaked. But I would hope that the administration is not going to do anything that is going to interfere with Congress's obligation to do oversight. And in particular, the Intelligence Committee members have an important role in policy making. And so they do need to have access to continued classified information about Iran and about Iran's nuclear capabilities.
David Tafuri, thank you very much for your time this morning.
Thank you.